Hi, I'm Coach Bob, here to talk about creating great relationships. What is a great relationship? I used to think I had hundreds of friends, and maybe I did. I did not have 20 great relationships. Those people that I can be open, honest, and accountable to and for. And as I've learned and grown, to say I probably don't have time for 100 great relationships. So what are those precious few, and how do I make them great? So I mentioned open, honest, and accountable. So open is that I can suspend disbelief, that I don't know it all, to not judge. And ultimately, as Dr. Bill Isaacs talked about, dialogue is the art of learning together. So just to be open to possibilities, open to learning. I may or may not agree with you, you may or may not agree with me, but we can be open. And that's when I know I can be open. I have that safe space I can share this and not be judged. I can share this and it helps me to get it out of my head and hear myself think and get it out of my heart. So that's the first one, is open. Honest, which is a tough one. It's ultimately giving permission, that I give you permission to be honest with me with kindness. So if someone shows the mirror and say, you're doing this, I may or may not listen. And so ultimately, we have the rules of engagement in iMatter, which we can share that with you. But it's ultimately to be honest with expectations. What do I expect from you? Am I clear on what you expect from me? What do we ultimately need to get done? And then next is to honest on feedback. So I am willing to take feedback, and it's not easy, and sometimes it hurts. And yet, if I want to be great and have a great relationship with you, and ultimately that helps me to have the greatest relationship of all, and that's with myself. So I'm practicing these great relationships. So feedback is hard. Feedback with kindness helps me. Last is accountability. I did not used to like this word. This is about walking the talk. So if I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, that's not respect. That's not creating a great relationship. So to finish what I start and do what I say. So if I say something and then I don't do it, I'm letting them down. If I hear you say something, you don't do it, that's letting each other down. And so to be really pure with our commitments and ultimately to be accountable for those things. So last of all these things, it's up to me, not all about me in these relationships. So it's up to me how I choose to show up. If someone is giving me feedback or sharing an emotion that I don't understand or is uncomfortable, it's not all about me, but it is up to me how I choose to show up. So, two last things. In business, I want to work with those I love, and that's the people I have a great relationship, that I can be open, honest, and accountable with them. Personally, as we've been going through spending a lot more time together at home, we've really almost been forced to show our warts and expose our emotions, and because we've slowed down. And so who better to learn from than our family? I've gone through decades of learning in the last couple months, and that's where my kids and my wife are open and honest, and we're accountable, and so we're all learning together. It's been really uncomfortable, and yet I now have a greater relationship with my kids and my wife than I ever have with anyone. So it's been a great couple months in a lot of ways and not in a lot of other ways, and yet it's helped me to understand what is a great relationship in business and in life, and how to keep growing those, and helps me to live a great effing life. I'm Coach Bob. Thanks for listening. iMatter.